Well, moving on. I also watched the Aaron Hernandez.
I did too.
Documentary.
Yeah, I liked him. Seemed like a nice, upstanding guy.
What, again, this made front page news. This was in the news.
Yeah.
The timeline, though, I didn't realize how long this dragged out.
Oh, yeah, it went on for a long time.
It did. I was really surprised that it really encapsulated almost 5 years.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I remember, when all this was going down, but the thing is I didn't realize how long it dragged out before he committed suicide.
Yeah, it's a while.
But, from Ron Keel brought it up that if it is to be, it's up to me. Isn't that something that he had tattooed on himself?
I think he did.
And I was going to mention that. It's like, oh, so you believe in pathological killers then? I was going to throw that in there, but it wouldn't have made sense.
Right.
But that was something that was highlighted in this documentary. So if you haven't seen the documentary of the tight end from the New England Patriots, Aaron Hernandez, it's a really well done documentary. A lot of footage. I'm always amazed as to how much footage that they find anywhere from high school. I mean, who's filming in high school?
Well, they do now.
I know they do, but college, high school, pro career, outside, security camera footage.
Yeah.
I mean, holy shit.
In his house when he was toting the gun around. I thought that documentary was very well done.
It was.
They tried to make you like the guy. That's what was funny. When they kept playing those phone messages, they kept trying to make you like Aaron Hernandez.
It never occurred to me that I kind of like this guy. It never occurred to me. It was just like this kid, and he was a kid compared to our age.
Yeah, sure.
He was a troubled person, and the thing is that this is just a common thread. Mm-hmm. I am not a psychologist. I am not a doctor, but the common thread that I picked up on that I've witnessed through my lifetime is that whenever kids come out of abusive relationships abusive home life, they always come out all fucked up. Mm-hmm. And the interesting thing is, and this is not, again, I'm not making a judgment, I'm just making an observation.
Okay.
That anybody shouldn't say anybody, a lot of people who grew up with abusive or overbearing fathers, they always seem to come out gay.
Yeah.
You ever notice that?
It's that whole I'll show him a thing or two.
Well, I don't even know if it's that. It's just that they're seeking out that father figure, so they become, I don't know what it is, but again, I don't understand it, but it always seems to work out that way.
Yeah. You know what bothered me? The only thing that I thought was with that documentary that I thought that they just focused on for no real reason. I thought the focus on this was stupid, and I still do, and I'll explain it. They must have gone back 3, 4, 5 times and talked about how they couldn't believe that he went on to play another season after killing the Odom guy. And my thought was, why couldn't you figure, why was that surprising? Every one of these serial killers, no matter who they are, whether it's, John Wayne Gacy or Bundy or whoever, they lived their normal life.
Yeah.
And then killed somebody and then went right back to their normal life.
Exactly.
So why was it so shocking that Aaron Hernandez killed this Odom guy and then went back and played football? What was it? What did they think that he would do?
Well, it wasn't the Odom guy. It was the two guys from the nightclub.
Well, whoever it was.
Yeah. Well, I think it's inconceivable to people who have rational thought that how do you blow two people away in a dispute and then just go about your life like nothing ever happened? I think that's what the question was. But again, I agree with what you're saying, that if you're a sociopath, that's just like normal. That's just like going to buying a loaf of bread at the store.
Exactly.
You don't not go to work next day because you bought a loaf of bread. It's just like, I killed a couple guys. Yeah, so what?
Yeah, all right, that's over with. Now I got to go make my money.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's all it was. But they harped on that like it was such a big deal. I was like, you've got to be kidding me.
Yeah, well, again, it boils down to people trying to understand social or mental illness, I guess.
Yeah, it's trying to put rationale into irrational thought.
True. And here's the thing that was kind of pointed out in the documentary, that again, this what is it, CTE? I was talking to somebody else about this, and they said, well, they didn't focus enough on the CTE. He was acting out because of this. It's like, well, this kid came from a troubled childhood. He moved out of his house. He lived with his cousin?
Yeah.
He found a different living situation because his home life was pretty rocky. And even through high school and college, he was always under the radar. That what's that guy's name? Urban Meyer. Yeah, Urban Meyer, the football coach. You know, they interviewed him in this documentary, and he said, I always worried about him going home to Connecticut because I knew he was going to be up to no good. And so even from an early age, from high school even into college, he had aberrant behavior.
Yeah.
And I don't think CTE was the cause of this, but I was talking to somebody about this documentary and say, well, the reason he acted that way was because of the CTE. And I disagreed. It was just like, well, maybe he had it, to some extent, but that wasn't the reason for it. It was, he was brought up in a bad environment, and he was a product of his environment, unfortunately.
Regardless of the CTE, he made stupid choices.
He did.
I mean, that's just the bottom line. Because look, Mike Webster didn't kill anybody. He had the worst CTE of any of them.
True.
He had the worst CTE. He didn't kill anybody. Not one fucking person.
Not a one.
From the last I heard, he didn't even punch anybody. He didn't have a violent streak. He just faded away. He went into depression and fucking died.
Same way with Junior Seau.
Yeah, well, Junior Seau killed himself.
Yeah, I know, but what I'm saying is he wasn't a violent person to other people.
He wasn't running around shooting people because they, I don't know,
looked at him funny or
fucked his sister the wrong way or whatever it was that Aaron Hernandez. What was Aaron Hernandez's reason for that Odom guy?
He thought, well, their theory was that this Odom guy knew that he was a closeted gay.
Oh, that's right.
He was afraid that he might out him.
Yeah,
that's what they're...
Sounds Lou from the Lou.
What's going on, Lou?
Yeah, I was just going to ask you, man, what you think that bullshit in that documentary when they were trying to present him as a closet cocksucker?
Well, I mean, he might have been. A lot of indications that he was. I don't know.
Yeah, I could see that, but I mean, that's no excuse, I mean, if you suck dick, there's a lot of people running around sucking dick, ain't shooting people over it.
Well, the thing is because football is such a macho sport that the fear of being outed in front of your peers, it was just like, well, you better keep my secret or I'm going to fucking kill you.
Yeah, but man, the media is dying for the first faggot football player.
Well, but see, here's the thing: what supposedly drove him over the edge to commit suicide was 2 days before he committed suicide, that sports reporter, they were making jokes on, the sports casting, saying, oh, he went from being a tight end to being a wide receiver.
Yeah, I remember it, but I don't know. I mean, you guys talked about it before when he first hung himself. The thing to me that makes the most sense is the one where the loophole in the law that if he's appealing a decision and he's found not if he's appealing a decision and he dies, then basically that deal goes out the window.
Yeah, it negates his guilty verdict.
Yeah, and then doesn't his family get the money from the gets it from the Patriots?
Yeah.
So, I'm sure it's probably a little bit of everything.
Probably.
But I kind of like I did like his dad, though. Dad was a real man's man. They say he was the kind of guy, he'd beat the gay out of you. The one family member that wanted to be a male cheerleader, and he put a stop to that. I mean, that's good parenting. We need more of that.
Yeah, that was Chris's dad.
I mean, I think we talked about this before. That was all of our dads. All of our dads would have no problem whooping the fag nasties out of us if we, so much as showed one bit of fucking femininity,
Exactly.
We had showed one sign that we had a little bit of Tinkerbell in us. We got a foot in the ass, and God damn it, we appreciate that shit. Made us men. We ain't got enough of that. It's why, you talk about why do people want to give up their freedom and their liberties? Because we got a bunch of faggots now. That's why. Because they're all a bunch of goddamn faggots. That's why they want to give up their liberty and their freedom. Fuck, we don't want, yeah.
Well, you always lay it on the line, Lou. That's what I like about you.
Hell, you got these faggots running around. Gosh, I got an argument with this fucking mother who, I wanted to fucking just put my foot up her goddamn cunt so she couldn't put any more little bastards out in the face of the earth. But she's carrying on about violence on TV. There's too much violence. The government needs to come in and put restrictions on what's on TV. It's like, oh, you know what? You don't want to take responsibility of being a parent, so you're going to have the government do it. You know what? Hey, government, you take care. You take care of this for me. I can't see some titties or some ass on TV because you don't want to be a fucking parent.
Yeah.
Bunch of bullshit.
Yeah, it's a good thing there's no gay hockey players because that whole sport would be ruined.
Well, the day's coming, dude. The day's coming. The day's coming. The day's coming. But speaking of hockey, though, man, I actually got, coming back from the NHL All-Star Weekend here in St. Louis, which, by the way, the CMS family, whoever is an NHL hockey fan out there, your team sucks. My team rules. We got the Stanley Cup. Suck my dick. But, as I was going to say, they had the female Canadian-American U.S. Olympic hockey players played a scrimmage game on hockey. And I'll tell you what, a lot of them female hockey players are pretty goddamn fuckable.
Did you get the fuck one? Did you get the fuck one, Lou?
No, I didn't get the fuck one, but I tell you what, they, compared to like the WNBA where they look like a bunch of post-op trannies, I mean, these girls were looking good. Good white girls. Good blonde hair, blue eyes, Aryan white girls.
Good white ones, huh, Lou?
Damn right. It's unlike watching the WNBA, women's basketball. It's a bunch of damn Amazons running up and down the damn floor. One jumps 1 foot up in the air, you got to worry about a banana falling out of the tree.
Right, Lou. I don't think that's true.
Well, Lou, the thing is about the women hockey players being that they, use their legs primarily in the sport, It's like they're doing consistent Kegel exercises, so that snapper will just snap your dick right off.
Oh, damn right, man. Try to high stick one of them girls. Oof, I'd like to try, though. But, yeah, they were fine. But, Chris, you were talking about Jenna Fisher being one of the girls you like.
Yeah, I like Jenna.
She's a St. Louis girl, and they always show her at Blues games, and she was an honorary coach for one of the teams tonight. And the thing about Jenna Fisher is man, she's like really cool, down to earth, real approachable. She's like one of those famous people that really makes you think you have a chance of fucking her if you ever got to meet her.
Yeah,
I mean, that's what I like about her.
She's what you call regular girl hot.
Yeah, like if you saw her out in public, you'd buy her a couple drinks. Next thing you know, she's slobbing your knob, and you're slapping her on the ass and she's tickling your balls. I mean, it's like, give me 5 minutes with this bitch alone, and I could make that happen without the use of a gun or force.
Without the use of a gun or force?
Know what I mean? She's like she's down to earth for being a regular girl. Being a star. You really make you think you have a chance. I mean. So, yeah, I don't know what the hell I was going with that, but, hockey world, man, great fuckable hockey players. I'm talking about the women, not the men's, the women.
Sure you are, Lou.
Well, I'm glad you clarified that up, Lou.
Yes, I did. So, but, yeah, I just, wanted to touch base with you in the new year, all that bullshit. Glad we got that holiday horse shit out of the way. A couple weeks, it'll be past Valentine's Day. Maybe I could dip my thing back in the pool, try to get a little pussy now that the dating off season's over. After Valentine's Day.
Playoffs are coming, Lou. You don't want to get back into dating right now. The playoffs are coming.
Hey, don't think I didn't think that. Don't think I didn't think that.
You gotta wait, dude. You gotta wait till the playoffs are over.
Yeah, but have you watched any more hockey? I mean, now that the Browns are done and the Indians don't start for another month, what do you got?
I'm not going to lie to you, Lou. I've watched a few games, and it doesn't do it for me on TV. It's too hard to follow. And I'm going to be honest. I honestly think it is a flaw that digital has that might not be as bad if I just watched it like with an antenna TV or regular cable. But watching it through digital, the action is too fast, and I don't want to get all techie here, but the action of the game is too fast for the frame rate of the digital picture. Even and I mean, I've got a 4K TV, but and I stream it, and it's just like I don't see the puck at all. I just see him skating around half the time, and I don't know where the fucking puck is. It's hard to follow, and I don't know. I mean, I've watched a few games. I've watched maybe 3 or 4 Blue Jackets games, and I've watched that Las Vegas team a couple of times, and
the Knights.
It ain't doing it for me.
That's why the sport will never, it's one of the big four for professional sports, but it's a distant fourth.
Yeah.
And the reason it's a distant fourth is if you don't have you don't have an NHL team that's easily accessible where you can just drive, an hour or less to go see it in person. If you go to an NHL game in person a couple of times, you're hooked.
Right.
I mean, and every other, like football, let's be honest, football is the perfect made-for-TV sport. Who the hell wants to actually go to a football stadium and watch a football game when you can watch it at home on TV? It's made for TV. It's made for having your boys come over, drinking beers and shit. It's perfect. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, a couple times I go to a college football game live. I'm sitting here thinking, geez, I'm missing all the games at home. I could be at home and I can have a choice of 15 games on TV right now at the same time.
No, I'm with you. I'll say this about hockey from my limited watching of hockey. Even though I can't really watch it very well at home, I'd still rather watch any hockey game over any NBA game.
Oh, the NBA is terrible. Who wants to watch James Harden dribble the ball up the court 50 times and chuck it up from three-point land and break over half of them?
I just can't stand that now. There's no team play at all in the NBA. None. It's just it's okay. These are the stars, and they're going to shoot every fucking time.
Exactly.
I don't dig it. I don't dig it at all. And the deal with the NBA too is, with the NBA, you don't have to watch the games really. You can literally, like, the Cavs are here, and I still tune into the Cavs every now and again. But the Cavs games start at 7. They generally end at 9:30. They end right about 9:30. And if I really want to watch to see what they're doing, I turn it on at 9:15.
Watch the last 2 minutes.
Yeah, I turn it on at like 9:15. There's about 3 minutes left, and either they're getting blown out or it's close. And that's all that matters, because the first 3.5 quarters of hockey or of basketball is just one team goes up by 20, then the other team catches up, then the other team goes up by 15, then the other team catches up. Fucking, it's not competitive anymore at all. It's not. I'm not amused by it at all anymore to watch it. So
you grew up in the glory days of the NBA in the 80s and 90s. Teams had identities. You had the Lakers were Showtime. The Pistons were the bad boys. The Celtics were the white boys, the blue collar guys.
Yeah,
Celtics had
Jay. Fuck yeah.
Then you had Jordan and the run with the Bulls. Now you don't have that.
No. Now you have now you just have coverage of, well, here's James Harden or here's LeBron.
Oh, well, the new one now is, okay, I mean, this is what a joke ESPN is. Zion Williams plays one goddamn game in the NBA, and all of a sudden he's crowned as the greatest player to ever play the game because he scored, 15 points in the fourth quarter? Huh. It's a joke. I mean, the NHL has got it perfect to where, it used to be the NHL. Back in the day, the regular season didn't mean much because 4 teams in each of the conferences made the playoffs. So you had to really try to not make the playoffs. But now that they shook up the divisions and the conferences. I mean, for instance, Pacific Division, within a week, the top 5 teams practically flipped. Like, from what was in 5th place was in 1st place. Who was in 4th place was now in 2nd place, and it's just going to continue that, because now that you're in the second half of the season, teams, you got the trade deadline coming up, teams are going to be making a playoff push, and so forth. I mean, this is when it gets good, from now to January when the Cups award. I mean June when the Cups awarded. Oh man, this is as good as it gets.
Sure, and here's one. And again, I really have. I'm not just saying it. I'm not just giving you lip service. I have tried watching it, and I'm trying to get into hockey. The one thing that, and there's several things that I like about hockey. The speed is cool. The other thing that I like about hockey is, unlike any other sport, in most of the other sports, I guess, if you have a shitty team playing the best team, in those sports, it's almost a given that the shitty team is going to lose. They might hang around for a minute, but they're going to lose. In hockey, you could have a 0-0 game with about 3 minutes left in the third period of the worst team against the best team, because while the degree of skill of the players is important, it's not as important as the luck and who's in the right place at the right time, and when the puck is smacked at the goalie, and they just happen to be out from seeing the puck and stuff. I mean, that's just, I know there's some skill to that, but there's not as much skill to that to where a shit team can beat a good team pretty much on any given night.
Yeah, they can't. Well, I mean, there's a lot of I hate to use the P word, I'm not talking about pussy, but parity. A lot of parity, and that's because they got the salary cap, a hard cap, kind of like the NFL. It's a hard cap in the NHL, and there is a lot of there's really not that much difference from the team, say the Western Conference, from the team in first place to the team in the bottom overall standings of a conference. I mean, you could be, was it last year, the last place team in the Western Conference was still, at 500?
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's just, right now the NHL, it's got a lot of good things going for it. The only thing I hope in a couple years when the collective bargaining agreement is up, they don't go on another lockout. The couple lockouts were necessary because it did get the salary cap, and it did, make it bring about parity and even things out. Because it was looking like baseball for a while. You had a few teams that could buy up all the players, and then it was like baseball. You had the Yankees and the Red Sox be able to buy up all the talent, and then hell, if you were a fan in Oakland or what have you, you didn't have a freaking chance.
Right.
It was like, what's the fucking fun in that? Who wants to invest money in season tickets when your team's nothing more than just a punching bag, for the rest of Major League Baseball? And that's the thing. I know the Cleveland had the Cleveland Barons for a few years in the NHL before they folded, but fortunately, the closest thing you have is either the Columbus Blue Jackets or the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Now, we got the minor league team, what are they called? The Monsters, maybe? The Erie Monsters?
Yeah.
I'm not going to watch minor league hockey at major league prices. Fuck that.
Yeah, it's a shame you got to pay major league prices because the minor leagues are kind of fun because you still have guys that are trying to make a name for themselves.
Yeah, but it's $25 a ticket for shitty seats and then 30 more to park. Fuck that.
30? Whoa, shit, man. I don't pay a goddamn nickel to pay for Blues games. God damn. Making me start to appreciate St. Louis.
Cleveland fuck every which way.
Well, you love your sports, don't you, Lou?
Well, mainly an NHL guy, like some baseball, follow some college football. I follow NFL guys from my alma mater, but, if you held a gun to my head and said you got one sport to watch, it'd be the NHL. It's just, as far as, like I said, still the one sport that's fun to go out and watch games and view it and everything. And, I remember you at one time, Neil, you said, I should have my own podcast.
You should.
Which I would love to have that because there's several blues podcasts around here, but they suck.
Well, get with it then. Nothing's stopping you.
It's like, my God, it's like, man, I need to hook up with you guys. You guys got to tell me how to get my own podcast going. Because, there's this one show, these guys claim to be, like, the all-everything of blues people, blues podcasts, and I'd call them up and, I tell them, I can hardly understand a word you guys are saying because you got your cocks in each other's mouths. I can't, they're just fucking stupid. I would love to take them down like you guys took down the Rev and, talking, well, you guys have patched things up at Talking Metal. But I would just love to be unleashed on these faggots.
Well, nothing's stopping you, Lou.
Yeah.
I have a
sports podcast.
I know the Dog Pound.
Yeah.
I listened to that too because Baker Mayfield, I'm an Oklahoma graduate, so I listened to see what your opinions on Baker Mayfield, and my God, are the Browns a dumpster fire?
Yeah, well, they are, but but what I'm saying, I'm not trying to make a statement about the Browns. What I'm trying to make a statement of is it's not that hard to start a podcast. Get a Spreaker account and a microphone and talk. There you go. You're podcasting.
But
Spreaker's free. Spreaker's free, and a microphone on your computer is probably $10.
Definitely food for thought, man.
Well, we'll get busy, Lou. Get busy. Don't waste all that knowledge on us.
All right, now go away. You're bothering us.
All right, my man, I take the hint. Hail and kill, fuck you, pal. Doover!
Doover.
Lou loves his sports.
He does love his sports.
He is a sports guy.
He's convinced he's going to make me a fucking hockey fan.
Yeah, well, you know what? He wants somebody to commiserate with, I guess.
I am trying. I have tried to watch it, and and like I said, I truly believe a big problem is that the speed of the game is too fast for digital still.
Mm-hmm.
It just does not project well on digital.
Right.
So, is what it is. But anyway, since we're talking about sports, since you're a Steeler fan, what do you think of that fucking idiot Antonio Brown?
He's an idiot. I mean, I think I sent you the email this week. It's just like, it's just, he got arrested. He's going to mental health, counseling or whatever. It's just like, this guy was the superstar of the NFL as far as receivers are concerned. And look at him now. What is he, like 33 years old and just fucked up?
Dude, not only was he the speed of his fall is astronomical.
Yeah, in one season.
He wasn't only the best receiver, he was the best receiver last year.
Mm-hmm.
And this year, he's a criminal getting ready to go to jail.
Yeah.
He's one step from being Ray Caruth.
Pretty much.
He's right on the verge, or Aaron Hernandez.
Yeah.
I saw what is he charged with? Burglary and
domestic violence.
Or assault with a weapon or something.
Yeah, and he owes his baby mama child support or something.
And the thing about he was stealing furniture or some shit out of a moving van, but he didn't want to pay the guy $800 or some shit for damage that he did to the truck. What the fuck? You have $50 million. Pay the $800 and don't have the problem.
Yeah.
Fuck is wrong with you, idiot?
Yeah.
What an idiot.
Boy. Steelers always know when to get rid of their bad baggage.
Look, I can't stand Pittsburgh, you know that, but I will give them credit where credit's due. They always get rid of these fucking assholes before they become assholes.
Yeah, before they implode.
And the ones that they keep, they figure out a way to fucking make them stop being assholes.
Yeah,
like
make them work.
Yeah, well, they got Roethlisberger. I mean, he was, raping chicks, and they cleaned that right up. They fucking put somebody with him to make sure he didn't have to rape anybody in the club. Took care of that business.
All right. Well, I got a tune here I'm going to dedicate to everybody who does not subscribe to the ranch and the thought process of Maggie.
All right.
I'm going to play you some Judas Priest.
Okay.
Some Rock Hard and Ride Free.
There you go.
So here it is. It's Priest exclusively here
on your classic metal show.
Hi, everybody. This is Rob Halford, the metal god from Judas Priest, on the one, the only, the classic metal show.